telling me.
Actually, when you think about it, Bill, consciously, we're at a stage, I would say, where, we do take it a moment at a time because, we really can't give a rat's ass about doing anything but what we want to do. But when we were younger, we were going all over the place and technology and changes and trying to keep on the horse and all that sort of stuff. When we think back, we had black and white TVs and everything was stopped and communication. We bought a newspaper and you had to wait till tomorrow to find out what was going on. Now these people, you can't go anywhere that someone hasn't got a phone open and they're going this, that, the other. How do you deal with technology?
I think we don't have much choice but to embrace it. It's just that the older I get, I don't necessarily always learn every single new thing that comes along.
No, and there's
I mean, I had to. You have to embrace it. I mean, especially even in the like audio engineering world. Like, I own a recording studio, and I had to really embrace it there too, because we used to make records on tape, and now it's all done in a digital platform.
That's a different conversation. I'll get stuck into the Descendents stuff, but maybe at some stage we'll have another conversation about some of that sort of gear, because that's interesting stuff, going from tape to, to the expectation of all these new people doing all sorts of new things in a studio that you've got to keep on progressing towards, because people have that expectation when they walk in. So you've got to be sort of competitive.
Or else just kind of stick to your guns and
do your own thing.
Hope that you don't go out of style, right?
I'm going to try and get through these questions because I actually got someone to chuck me some questions shortly, a short time ago. So I've tried to put them together. So there'll be a bit of bland stuff and a bit of targeted stuff. How did the band come together? So how did it start? What started it back some 40 years ago?
This guy comes up to me in the hallway I was in 10th grade, and he says, "Hey, I heard you play drums. You want to jam?" And he explained that he kind of had a band called the Descendents, but he needed like band members. So and then we kind of met Tony, our bass player. Similarly to that, we heard a bass down the alleyway from where Frank and I were gonna, in this garage, the Ninth and Walnut garage, and we heard a bass down the alleyway. So Frank walked down there and said, hey, you want to come jam with us? And that was it.
So these are members that are no longer part of the band.
Yeah, I mean, that's the original lineup, Frank and Tony and I. But it was short-lived. I mean, it's been Carl, Stefan, and Milo and I for 38 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you took that on, did you? You lost the other two pretty early and took on maintaining the Descendant stuff. And they all sort of, did they all come at the same time? Like, was it a changeover like that, or was it a progressive sort of thing?
Oh, I guess there was fluctuation for a few years. Like Frank left, and then we got Ray, and then Tony left, and we got Doug. And then at the end of a long bunch of tours, Doug and Ray both quit on the same day. And then I got Carl and Stefan, and that's been the kind of the known lineup that everybody knows is me and Carl and Stefan and Milo.
So you're known for your enduring legacy in punk rock. How does it feel to be a part of a band with such a profound influence on the genre?
Yeah.
You don't think?
We've had our influences too. I could spend the next 30 minutes talking about the bands that influenced us. Or maybe we influenced some bands. I think it's more like a circle. Or like a winding river. You add a little, you take a little out. You add a little, you take a little out.
Who were some of those early ones that influenced you? If you can think.
Well, the really when we first started, it was very easy to say what we sound like. I would always say the same thing. I would say we sound like 1/3 The Last 1/3 Alley Cats and 1/3 Black Flag. That was easy, like in the very beginning, because that's really kind of what we sounded like. But then I mean, just everything back then, X and the Germs and Fear and then the older stuff too. You know, the Kinks, the Seeds, the Ramones, obviously, Generation X, and you know those were all massive influences on us. The Middle Class. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Did I say X and Fear?
Yeah.
I mean,
going on. You've influenced multiple generations of punk rock fans, obviously. What do you think it is about your music that continues to captivate new audiences, new generations of audiences?
If I could figure out what, I would be the smartest guy on the block. Yeah, I really have no idea. It's weird. It's weird when we have a show and I'll look out and I'll see 3 solid generations. I'll see like even like there'll be a grandpa with his son and then with the son's little kid. And it's like, whoa, this is crazy.
It must be heartwarming. You know, as you get older, I think you become a bit more in the moment, conscious. You know, you become a bit more part of grounded or whatever. So when you see those things, you probably feel them a lot more than, you know, when your head's in groupies and all that sort of stuff when you're bloody earlier on.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I had my head up my ass when I was younger. I really did. I had a bad ego and I was self-centered, self-absorbed. And I like living is just way more kick-ass now than it was when I was younger. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to do a podcast soon, and I want to do that, that everyman sort of situation. The fact that we're all the same, we're all even. It's just that, in this world, we've all got different descriptions that set us up for different bloody accolades and all that. But really, at our base, we're just trying to inhabit each moment. We're just
people on the planet trying things.
People on the planet and hopefully collaborating. Milo, Bill, Milo, you, Steve, and Carl make up the band, obviously. How do each of you contribute to the creative process and the unique sound?
By and large, we've always been very much a democratic endeavor. There's not really a band leader. And so we just get in, you get in the little room there where you've nailed carpet up to the walls so that the cops don't come. And you get in that room and you kind of have a tug of war with the songs and, hey, let's try this. Hey, let's try that. Hey, I got this song. You got that song. In our band, it's very much, if you look on any given album, you'll see that each of us wrote kind of their fair share of the songs.
The democracy.
Yeah, we really, I think we all get the most out of that when everybody's contributing equally. We call it 4 guys with bats.
Well, probably why you're still together too, because if there's enough you in it, you stay. And if there's not, if you're always following someone else, so eventually you're going to go and try and find you somewhere.
Yeah, and we try, and even with our mix, I feel like you can hear everybody in the band really, really equally. It's like 4 guys with bats. We always called, when we would listen to that first Generation X album, and we would listen to that and we would go, yeah, 4 guys with bats. It just sounded like all 4 of them were kicking the same amount of ass. Exactly. So it was like, yeah, that's what we want to be like. 4, just everybody's giving it everything they got. Yeah.
How do you feel about the statement they make about you taking punk rock back to its roots?
Who said that?
Well, it was in your press. It was in your press when I saw it. They're described as taking punk rock back to its roots. Is that just?
I don't really know. I don't even know
what that
means. Really, yeah. I mean,
let's not worry about it. It's just a description.
It probably had different roots in each city, in each town, in each garage, in each room with carpet nailed to the walls.
You've done 7 albums, is that right?
We could probably go with that. I don't know. Let me count them up real quick.
I don't want to grow up.
Don't. I'm gonna name. I'm gonna count them. I'm gonna count them. So there's 10, but 2 of them are live. So 8.
Okay. Well, you got the live plus 1 here.
I left one out. I left one out. I'm going again. Yeah. 8.
Well, that dispels another rumor that musicians can't count. So that's well done. Thanks for doing that. No, that was a joke. That's humor. That's what we call humor here in Australia. It might not.
Well,
translate.
Well, with me, it's weird because we got all the albums that all did, and that's all the same people except for one different person. So it's hard for me to break those all out. And then there's all the records I did with Black Flag, and then the record with Only Crime, and so it's like there's a lot of albums, and I know it's So I need you know what I need? I need an abacus. Abacus.
Don't we all? I don't want to grow up. Everything sucks. Cool to be you. They're all pretty straightforward. They probably, writing about certain life experiences or whatever's taken place. Hypercaphium spassinati. I'm not quite sure where that fits into that mix.
The title?
Yeah. What is hypercaphium spassinati? What's that relate to?
Well, okay. So Milo, for most of his life, he's been a scientist, a biochemist.
Really?
Yeah. And he was in his lab, and he was trying to basically make the strongest coffee in the world, like by developing this kind of an X factor that you would add to the coffee. And there was an explosion in the lab, which you can see a photo of that on the EP called Spaz Hazard. Okay. But so this coffee that kind of happened in the lab, sort of by accident in a way, that we called it hypercaphium spassinate.
Aha.
Yeah.
It sounds a bit Breaking Bad. Sounds like you've got, the best mix, and you're out
maybe
there.
A little bit Breaking Bad, but we don't have the fat stacks. Jesse always had the fat stacks.
He did. He had the fat stack.
Yeah.
So is that Milo goes to college? Does that relate to all that, educational sort of Milo side, or?
Yeah, he's left the band like 2 or 3 times to go pursue either education or science.
Oh my goodness.
And so, that's like all real stuff. Yeah.
Are they the breaks in between? Like I see here, it's sort of 9 years between the early albums, and then lately you've sort of punched a couple out.
Yep. Well, Milo's in it full time now. He retired from science.
Aha. How old's Milo?
We're all 60.
Oh, 60. All right. Your classic albums like Milo Goes to College, I Don't Want to Grow Up, are iconic. What do you think about the albums? Like, how do you look back on the albums, and are there sort of that's our peste de resistance, or that period, or how do you look back on all the albums you've made?
I have a.
Or I think everything you're doing.
I think I just have a unique relationship with each of them. I think because a lot of them are kind of time markers of our lives, and in my case, I can speak for myself. The lyrics and everything, those they represent the diary. That's my diary of my life.
Yeah.
So it's all. To me, it's all kind of one big thing. And I don't, the idea that we only did good stuff when we were teenagers, that I don't like that we made like 1 or 2 classic records. I mean, obviously, as a fan, it's okay to say that about bands, but as a musician, No, I'm trying to do my very best, like right now, today. I'm not trying to rest on my laurels or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
That's cool. Your hits like Hope, Suburban Home, Good Things, are fan favorites. What's it like performing the songs live? How do they fit into your current set list?
Well, we play all those ones that you mentioned. They're fun. I mean, those are three of my favorites.
Yeah. And obviously the tour next month. How many times you been down here?
I want to say Descendents. This will be the fourth Descendents time, but all also went down there. I think 4 times too.
Okay.
All contains like 3/4 of the Descendants. So it's me and Carl and Steph and a different person singing.
Mostly festivals, mostly big events to come down.
No, mostly those solid, like those good, like pub gigs, those clubs.
Really?
What I like. Yeah. That's what I like. I like a nice, sweaty, 400 capacity situation.
Where you
That's my
can
favorite.
engage.
Yeah, where everybody gets some on them. They get some of the show spilled onto them. I love it like that.
I'm sure.
Like
I'm sure.
because when you're laying on your deathbed, you're not gonna your favorite thing you think about. It's not gonna be seeing some big rock band in an arena. It's going to be some little club show. That's what you're going to be. Those are where your real memories were.
I think I've asked that question before many times, and I've got plenty of answers back where people in arena bands have said, I remember this show where we were traveling from one city to another city in the States, and we stopped in a place and played in a 30 or a 40, person fan event, a little pub or whatever, and that's what sticks out in my mind as the best.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that, because it can become a bit business when you go into bloody arena, and you've got to bloody put it on, and you lose connection to the actual music and people's faces and what they generate, and all that father, son, and all that sort of stuff, all that connection. So once you've made enough money, you don't need to do that to make money anymore. So you're really looking for that experience, that connection to the music, I would imagine. Not that I've done it.
Yeah, and I also find that for the kind of music we do, I like it when it occurs in unlikely circumstances. Like say if we play a bookstore, or if we play a coffee shop, or if we play in someone's garage or living room. I like that stuff.
That's good. Here's another one of those press titles. One of the most irreverent bands. Have you heard that before?
I don't know. We have that one song, Enjoy, which is the whole song is got just farts in it and stuff. And I don't know, maybe it's kind of the songs like I Like Food and Der Wiener Schnitzel and I Want to Be a Bear. Maybe it's that kind of stuff. It's just that kind of that base level stuff.
Yep. As you prepare to hit the stage again, what message or feeling do you hope to convey to your fans this tour? What can they expect?
These are the soundbite questions. I honestly don't know. We're going to come down there and we're going to drink way too much coffee and just kick total ass. That's what we're going to do. There won't be a theme. There won't be a theme behind it, or an anthem, or a theme, or a mission statement. We're just going to come down and do our thing. 4 guys with bats.
And is the coffee Hypercaffeum Spassinati? Like, is it the good stuff, or is it like you?
Yeah, we've got our special bean that we try to have whenever we can. We've got our own bean that we have, but I think down there we might be kind of fending for ourselves. What's the best coffee down there? The strongest, the darkest, boldest, strongest.
Well, you're gonna have to. It's like you got to find it in the moment, because as soon as I say something to you, that's mine, and you've got to find yours, because coffee's the sort of thing. It's like a woman, man. You can't be in relationship with, usually you have a relationship with one woman at a time or one partner at a time.
That's how you do it.
No, well, I'm not you. If I was you, maybe I'd have different choices. Me, I sit here as an old man, working through stuff. I've always worked through stuff in a simple sort of way. Or I've always been a boss or something or other. So everyone's always said yes. Or I had a gangster period where everyone said yes because they were scared. So, then you're just using people. So then you can sort of do whatever. I would imagine it's similar to you guys because people see, people want to be with that rather than this. So you must have a bit of a hard time, well, unless you're just, rape, pillage, burn sort of thing. If you're in that mode, or it doesn't.
What's the word for that? Marauding.
Yeah, marauding. Yeah,
marauding. No, we don't do much marauding. I mean, we're all married.
Well, that's the thing. I think at the end of the day, there's something for it. It's like the stages in your life. When you consciousness is one of these simple places, and so it's just a connection to whatever's here, the here and now, and so you don't need all the stuff that you've got to have the here and now. Look behind you. You've got bloody boxes and open boxes and all that sort of stuff. You haven't put up, a backdrop. You haven't put in a bloody back thing. You're not trying to cover up some sort of bloody. You're just who you are. And I think that.
Well, I got Thelonious Monk. See him?
Oh, Thelonious, yes.
And I got Charlie Parker over there.
Charlie, oh my God, man! They are
Yeah.
legends, absolute legends, super legends. All right, if you could perform now, having looked at that, if you could perform with any music artist alive or dead, who would you choose?
You mean to play on stage with them?
Play on stage.
Whoa. That's a tough one. Oh boy. Well, Charlie Parker.
Obviously, because you've got him on.
Ornette Coleman.
Yes.
Ornette Coleman, Charlie Parker, Cole Porter.
Oh, yes.
Whoa. That's a lot. That's
right.
enough. That's plenty.
You can think about it and carve something and create a tattoo around it. Are there any memorable moments or stories from your previous tours you'd like to share? No.
Well,
they'll put you in jail.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if people know what we've been through the last 2 months, but so we fly to Europe. We land in Barcelona. We're just starting a Europe tour. So what does Milo do? He has a heart attack.
As you do.
So So we had to cancel the tour and so we're very excited to get back to it. Yeah.
So has he brought a George Clooney, a medic or something with him that's gonna be he's strong.
After they fixed him up, he had a clogged artery, but after they fixed him up and he got home and he started practicing again. And he called me and he goes, I can't believe it. It's so much easier to sing now. I feel like I got twice as much oxygen. So he's doing great. We've played shows since the heart attack. He's killing it. Yeah.
Too much hypercaffeum spasmody, if you ask.
No, me. Not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Your fan pre-sales, I don't even know what this is because someone put this question is. Your fan pre-sale starts soon. What can fans expect from this exclusive pre-sale? What surprises do you have in store for them?
I don't know what that is even.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. Fan pre-sale.
No, nothing coming up. Don't worry about
it. That must be an old question, right?
There you go. That came in from outside, so don't worry about it. It wasn't one.
I don't really know. I don't even know what that means. Fan pre-sale. If you don't mean that thing where bands charge money so that you can meet them and shit or autograph shit. I don't like doing that stuff. Hopefully it's not that.
All right, don't worry.
I hope it isn't that.
Don't worry about it. Okay, so we've got a few more. I think I've got a couple more minutes. Do you still have, at 60, do you still have long-term aspirations as a music artist?
Well, I finally, in the last 5 years, I finally kind of figured out sort of how to have fun doing this and how to be, I mean, how to really have fun, how to be like in the moment. And so yeah, I didn't used to have a lot of fun. It's like I was trying to prove myself or trying to like succeed or trying to impress everybody what a good drummer I am or some crap. And now I'm finally having fun. So I don't want to stop.
Yeah, you tried to fit the world, and now the world fits you.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe it's just you got to figure out how to be the ferryman. You know the ferryman in Siddhartha. You know Siddhartha.
Yeah, I do know Siddhartha. Absolutely.
Yeah, the ferryman. You got to be. I'm the ferryman now. I figured it out.
Aha, namaste. With that in mind, here's the big one, Bill. With that in mind, what piece of advice would you give to artists starting out? Here's the soundbite.
Oh boy.
Read the book.
Well, they have to know that that if they're trying to be in a band and make a living from it, that the odds are stacked very, very highly against them. And so I'd say it's best if they just enjoy the music for music's sake.
Yeah.
And if people catch on to it, then they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that, yeah.
They say there's 120,000 songs uploaded to bloody Spotify every day.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
I'd love to have a longer term chat with you at some stage about what you think about streaming and losing, you know, a lot of control and having everybody know exactly what people listen to and all that sort of stuff. Because I think that, you know, it's the major's way of maintaining control, which is a bit of a pain, I think, rather than leaving it with.
Yeah, it's weird that the royalty accounting hasn't caught up to the technology. So we're getting, as far as royalties go, we're getting literally pennies on the dollar.
Absolutely.
Like 1/10 of a penny on the dollar.
Absolutely. And that's the point. At least when you were doing your own CDs or vinyl or albums or whatever, you could negotiate with someone that you were working with and you could put it out and you could track what was taking place. And no one knew who was listening to your music apart from people that bloody voted or did whatever they did. Now they know everything. They want to know more and they want to control more, and they found their way to do so. And, you know, we live in the TikTok age where they can influence pretty quickly and easily. Anyhow, I'm not here to.
I feel like I'm just hanging on for the ride. And, you know, it doesn't, ultimately that's, you know, that's not something that I can control or fix, but what I can control or fix is my music, my songs, you know, the way I play my instrument and how I live my life. I can control those things.
What's the best thing about performing to a live audience?
Oh, would you get that circle of energy going? Oh, well, it's like I get, oh yeah, it's crazy. You get this feeling that I have never had that feeling other than doing that.
Is it a wash over the whole lot, or is it moments in the event, in the performance?
Well, for me, it's little moments because I'm looking for that one person making that one face. And it's like, there's the person. And that's the one, you know.
And you can't find anything else to replace it. You couldn't take a drug or have sex with 5 women or whatever the situation. It's a personal thing between you and that moment. So I can understand how that could be. I call them fuck moments, like you're going fuck, you know, that sort of thing. What's been the career highlight so far? If you had to pick one.
Oh boy,
I asked the hard questions.
I don't know how to.
The lot. That's enough. You don't have to answer.
Yeah, the lot. It is the lot. I was going to say all of it. Yeah.
All of it. Okay, now. We'll end on some shit questions that people hate answering. Just, you know, quick one sort of, you know, not one word, but, you know, simple answers to questions that, you know, just sort of show people a bit more about who you are. Just simple stuff. So, favorite. These are favorite questions. Favorite album. I know you've got 1,000 poking around in your head.
I can't. I can't even say top 100 albums.
It's not an album that, you know, sort of that you go.
And I could just I could pull one out of my ass. With the one I've listened to the most of any other record, it's probably Harvest by Neil Young.
Ah, yes. Okay, favorite artist. They're supposed to be challenging questions because they're not. This isn't an exact sort of test or anything. You're not going to get marked on it. But it's just at this moment, you're having a moment experience of that question, whatever that question is to you.
Well, I mean, Cole Porter, maybe he's not an artist, more of a songwriter, but it would be him, or it would be probably Neil Young.
But it says a lot. Says a lot to me. It says a lot to me about, well, people in general have this, you know, they've got a connection to their childhood that they probably learn a lot more about as they get older. And those memories, they hang tough. They connect up. Like you talk about Neil Young, what is he, 70, 75, 80?
Yeah, but I wore out 4 copies of that Harvest album before I was in high school. Like, no one's going to take that away from me. But I mean, with Cole Porter, I didn't get into Cole Porter till I was probably 40 years old. That's not a childhood thing.
No, it's not. But it's still an artist that could have been. No, it's not. I'm not going to try and create something. Favorite movie?
Oh, wow. Right. De Lovely.
De Lovely. Favorite place to visit?
That's the dramatized movie about Cole Porter's life.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm going to check it out. Favorite
You're
place?
Gonna cry. You need to get your tissues.
I'm happy to cry, man. I love crying. Favorite place to visit?
All of them. The lot.
Favorite venue to play?
As long as it's under 1,000, as long as it's under 800 people, I'm good.
Favorite food?
Oh, I love a good Indian, a good curry.
Really?
Yeah. Like a hot curry.
Really?
Like hot curry. Yeah.
So you have, you know, 4 shots in your coffee and you have hot curry. You know, how did the inside survive all this time?
I think they've gotten used to it. When I was younger, I used to just be the worst farting thing. I would cut these huge, gnarly, horrible farts. Everyone hated me the whole tour, you know, in the van. But I think my insides have acclimated to it. They can take all the salsa and the curry and the red peppers and habaneros and all the coffee. They're strong now.
Did you do that? I remember Dave Grohl talking about when they went out with Foo Fighters. He used his van from before. What do you call it? You know, the old ages kicked in from the Botsy band. You know, they were all millionaires, but he said it was important that they go out in that original shitty odd van with Foo Fighters to do their, you know, original tour. And do you do that? What do you van your way around, or are you all, you know, luxurious when you're touring the States?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give up those days of just crammed in the van for 3 months, using one of your other band guys' ass for a pillow and all that. I mean, I wouldn't trade any of that for the world. But you know, I've also, the older I get, I actually need to get some sleep. Like I need to get several hours of sleep, or I can't remember how the songs go or how to play them or anything. So I'm not craving like that van. I certainly did my share of that for, you know, more than a decade.
All right. Favorite person in history? If you had a pin-up person in history, who would that be? Could be anyone.
I can't.
You know, sometimes we talk about Mandela, we talk about, you know, bloody this or that or whatever. We've got, you know, different people that we are proud of for different reasons. I suppose Cole Joy's probably a nomination for you.
I don't know. It's too overwhelming.
See, what I like about you, Bill, is that you're a feeler. And as a feeler, you take it in, and there's a lot of stuff that's experienced. It's not just a head stuff. It's not just a thought, and so you can go to a thought and just pull it out. It's like a body sort of experience. So it's sort of got to work its way through to a situation, and then it becomes there's too much in there to sort of say, I'm not going to just give you one answer because it's not going to do justice to.
Yeah, that's funny because you and I don't know each other very well, but yeah, a lot of times I'll pause uncomfortably long before I answer a question. I mean, just in daily conversation, and where it makes sometimes people are uncomfortable, but then usually I justify it because I give them an answer that's worth hearing.
Bill, the quantum has us connected, and I've got a view that we never have a conversation with other people. We just have a conversation with ourselves. So basically, the people and the things that we come into contact are just mediums for us to deal with stuff that has to be observed and looked at. And so when you find someone that's in that sort of framework, that's sort of working on the same sort of process, you don't mind the conversation because it's like you're having a conversation with yourself, and you're experiencing those things that you need to experience from the questions that get shot back. There's no reason why I asked these questions. I asked someone to create questions last night. They didn't do so. So I quickly went through the press about half an hour ago, put something together, and then they sent me something, wrong band first, and then another band.
Nice.
We pitched it all together, and we come up with this sort of stuff. And this has been a wonderful bloody.
Yeah, but a good interviewer and a good interviewee can go unscripted, and it's still going to be basically as good as it's going to be.
Okay, the last question I've got is that one. Well, this is the last one in this series of favorites. You must have some tattoos, do you?
I actually do not have a single tattoo.
Not one tattoo.
I'm probably the only Black Flag member who doesn't have a Black Flag tattoo.
How did that happen?
I don't have any tattoos. I never deemed anything worthy of such permanence.
Wow. In a like, you were young and influenceable, obviously. And
but I wasn't usually like drunk or stoned, so I never, let's get a tattoo. I was never that guy.
Really, in an industry where it's almost mandatory.
Yeah,
that's
every Orthodox punk has a tattoo. Yeah.
Ah,